Alright YouTube, so today we're going to be looking at spell casting for the Empire. So it's going to be just a breakdown of what the spells do and how they affect in a real scenario in a battle. So we'll just take a look at each one and see how they affect the battle. Starting with the Bright Wizard, we're going to look at some spells from counterclockwise. So we'll look at the magic missile first, the Fireball. So that one causes fair bit of damage with magical and fire. It needs to be shot within 300 meters of the enemy, so that's the distance that it needs to be. It can't be used with climbing, as it says there. It's powerful magic, strong with multiple components, effective long range, which is the 300 meters, and effective, not very effective with multiple units. So you're basically looking at more of a spell cast against a lord or a hero unit. But again, we'll test it on different scenarios, and this majority against an army, because that's probably where you're going to end up using it, but we'll take a look from there. So I'm going to attempt to hit the Lord with the Fireball, but sometimes it does miss. So let's see if that happens.
Seething fire!
Launched it there. It's happily on its way. So it does do damage to units, but it's primarily designed for hero/leader classes. Oh, so it looks like in this case it stopped the shot. So it did a little bit of damage there, a little bit of damage up ahead. So it's not bad against units, but primarily designed for lords. But like I said, this guy's really small, so it didn't really impact them. And the next one we're going to look at is called the Burning Head. It's a vortex. So vortex is, I'm just going to preface that now, are magic spells that move when you cast them. So if they're an area spell, they may be for or against however you're going to use them. So it might hit your units, they can also damage your units, or they might completely miss the target and wander off on the battlefield. So it's kind of a risk and reward kind of scenario. This one has to be cast within 150 meters with a duration of 20 seconds. And also keep in mind of how much magic it uses as well. So we're looking at 11 magic for it and 37 seconds for it to reload that. So it's again, it's kind of like the previous one. It causes magical damage against with fire magic as well. So it's really good against units that magic does the most amount of damage. For example, like vampire counts, to give an example. The large moving effect, so it goes a huge radius, so it moves around, right? Strong against multiple units, weak against a single combatant. So using it on a hero lord, it's not going to do much because you want to do an area effect damage. So the more, the merrier, the more damage you do. So it does burning for 10 seconds, so you get additional damage with it, and you get 8 minus leadership. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the Burning Head, and we'll see if it actually affects the way we want it to, but it doesn't always work out that way. Oh, it looks like it's going in a straight line, so in this case, it actually did do relatively well. So it actually cut down about almost half of the units here with the health, and did a little bit of damage there. So actually not so bad. The next one we're going to look at is Piercing Bolts of Burning. So with that, it's a bombardment, so you can also tell with the symbol as well, it kind of looks like an area on the ground with a line going down to it. So that's 12 magic using 53 respell cooldown. Duration is only 9 seconds because it's probably relatively strong power magic that does damage to your units. We're looking at, again, magical fire damage, large strike area, strong against units, weak against combatants. So whenever it says that, you're pretty much wasting your spell cast if you're going against a hero, for example, or a lord. So we're going to launch the Piercing Bolts of Burning and see how kind of impact that does. So we're gonna wait till they sandwich in a little more, and then we're gonna go ahead and call that. And I want to shoot it in between here, so we can kind of get 3 units with 1. That should be raining down any time soon. And look at that view. That did a fair amount of damage. So if we take a look, we got a good chunk of the units knocked right out just from that. So I always try to put in between units. That's a great way to use the spell. The next one here, we're looking at a Flaming Sword of Rihan. It's a augment of an area. So basically, whenever you see the triangle that's green, it's usually a boost for your characters, your units. So there's 8 usage of magic, 44 for the recharge, 17 seconds for the duration, 200 meters for the effectiveness, so you have to be a little closer than other magic spells. And how it works out, it has a 40-meter range. It has an effective range. That's everything in that area. So it's not just one unit, it's an area spell. So keep that in mind as well. So it's going to boost everyone in that vicinity. Does fire magic and magical damage. It boosts everything but 22%, the missile damage and weapon damage. So you can use it for your archers, your barraging artillery, or you can just use it on regular infantry. So we're going to use Flaming Sword of Rune. We're going to use it on this unit right over here. It's going to give us some additional weapon damage. So you can take a look, see how that uses. So this is an area effect spell, so it's going to affect everyone in this entire vicinity. So they're going to be outputting more damage to the Savage Orcs and to Nasty Scholars. So right now the magic spell is faded, so that's the extent of it. So it's a very fast and short spell. So this one we're looking at Cascading Fire Cloak. This one is 4 magic, 22 recharge, so it's not necessarily the strongest because it doesn't do a whole lot. For example, whenever the magic's a little lower, the balancing out of how effective it is, especially with the cooldown time. So this is 16 seconds, 200 meters close effective range, so you're looking at 18% armor piercing damage with 36 additional melee defense. So in that case scenario, you're going to use it in a way that's going to stop your unit from crumpling. So if you have a really strong unit attacking them, this is a really good spell to cast for that unit. So we're going to do the same thing as we did before. I said we're going to use a Cascading Fire Cloak. Use it right here. And this is just for 1 unit. See that spell there? So you can see it does armor piercing and melee defense. So these guys are going to start getting a little hammered by them. But again, it's just there to boost your units while you're fighting against something like this, strong horde. Last but not least, we are looking at the Flame Storm. It's a vortex, kind of like the Flaming Skull. It moves around the map. It's a 15 magic usage, 56 cooldown, second for cooldown, and the duration is 27 minutes. I personally really like this one because it can move in and out of a battle line. So again, for good or bad, you have to be close as well, closer than most magic spells, about being 150. It causes magical fire damage again, large moving area, strong with versus multiple units, weak against a single combatant. So those are the ones that we're going to cover for Bright. So one of my favorite spells from the Bright Wizard is the Flame Storm. It does a significant amount of damage in my opinion. Again, if it hits really well, it can do a whole lot of damage. So let's just hope it plays out the way we want it to. Oh wow. Not the way you want it to, but like I said, it's not always predictable. And It's absolutely wrecking our line. But it actually did make this unit rout, so it is a very strong spell to use. However, it's completely volatile because it's a vortex and does not necessarily mean it's going to hit where it's intended to. So did a lot of damage on my side, but it can give you an idea of how much damage you can do. And again, you can definitely make the units fall out. I've used it in a battle before that's made about 3 units or so give up right away. Go ahead, subscribe, like, share, comment. Without your support, I won't be able to grow my channel, so thank you.